guys, this is Set79, and today I'm going to be doing a Let's Play, and I'm going to be using one of the new DLC factions, which is the Alamans. Now before we get stuck into the campaign and having a look at the actual faction traits and things, I thought what we'd do this time round is have a look at the units that are available with the Alamans. Now, mainstay of their army is Germanic units, so you know it's very similar to sort of like the Vandals. They have the Germanic units. All the DLCs do. You know, the Longbeards have them. I know that the Burgundians have them. I couldn't say whether the other barbarian factions, you know, the Franks, the Saxons. I haven't really looked at their units, so I can't give you an honest opinion there. But it just seems that most of their army is Germanic. Now, on top of that, we do have some unique units here. First of all, we're starting the spear infantry, and we have a unit called the scavenger mob. Now, early on, you know, for the price, you know, they're a very cheap unit. They have poor morale, poor health, poor armor. You know, so they're expendable as such. You know, they're going to die. They're going to die in droves. Melee defense is quite high. Melee attack and melee damage is reasonable for a spear unit, especially an early on spear unit. And on top of that, they have spear wall, so they're not a bad unit. You know, good attack against cavalry, and these are the kind of unit that early game, for the first few turns, as you start building something up, this is the kind of unit that you're going to be able to just fill your armies with. If we compare them to, say, Germanic Levy, you know, the Germanic Levy have not much better stats, but they have the precursor. You know, they have the javelin or the spear that they can throw in, you know, before they engage in combat. They have that one spear. So that kind of makes them as though I might use those. But, I mean, we look melee attack, melee damage and defense. Higher defense on the scavengers. We've got higher melee damage, higher melee attack, higher melee defense, health and morale. Health's lower and morale's lower. But for a difference of about 100 talents, recruitment cost, and probably quite a bit in upkeep, I'd be tempted to use these as my spammable start units. So we move on now. We've got the Alamanic Scavengers. Now they're quite high up in the upgrade. You know, they are a tier 2 unit. Now, for the cost, I don't think I'd ever use these. They've got a reasonable charge bonus. It's not great. It's 30's not fantastic. A lot higher armor than the scavenger mob, and a little bit more health, a bit more morale. Again, nothing in the way of special abilities. They've got shield wall. Yeah, you know, they might make for a better tanky unit that you could use on the flanks, but to be fair, between Germanic Spearmen and Alamanic Scavengers, I would probably be using the Germanic Spearmen. You know, more morale, more health, more armour. You're sacrificing a bit of melee attack, a bit of melee defence. But these guys as well will come with average missile block chance, whereas these guys don't. These guys are going to get chipped to pieces by skirmisher units. These maybe not so much. So, Alamanic Scavengers, not a unit I'll use, I don't think. I don't think I'd put many of those in my army at all. Right, so then we've got the elite Alamanic Scavengers. And basically it's just, you know, they're a flat upgrade. A lot more health, armour, a lot more melee attack and melee damage. Still not a very good charge bonus, but they come with steady. That's not bad. You know, if you could use them to absorb a charge, a cavalry charge or something like that, probably steady them for a bit more morale. If you were going up against enemy front line and using them to tank front line, then yeah, maybe steady. You know, you're not going to take as much missile damage there. Also the 15 shield defense, you know, that's pretty decent against infantry. Next one we're looking at, sorry, oh god, what am I doing, is the Protectoris Defectors. Basically it is a Roman unit. You know, it was not really heard of that people would defect from the Roman army, but they did, and when they did, they went back home. So say, you know, you had people from Germany that joined the Roman army and became protectores, and they defected. Where they're going to go? They're going to go back home. So, look at the price. It's not an expensive unit. You get attacking testudo. They've got really high health, high armour, very poor charge bonus, good melee defence, decent attack and damage. So, again, they're going to make a good frontline tanking unit. If you needed somewhere, if you were going up against a town, for example, and there was a lot of missile troops there, you might want to take yourself some Protectoris defectors and, maybe use that testudo, because testudo is very, very powerful. I've had problems fighting units with testudo, especially with the missile block chance that they get. But, would I take those over noble Germanic swordsmen? Probably not, to be fair, because I get shield wall with those, and I'd probably use these more so. And look at the difference in cost. I don't know if these costs are the same as what you get in the campaign, but the Protectores are going to be a far more expensive unit than the Germanic swordsmen. And now the Germanic swordsmen have higher morale, they have a little bit lower health, lower armour. Would I use them over? Probably not. I'd probably use the Germanic swordsmen. Anyway, enough of those. The next one, we have the Bejeweled Nobles. You can get these really early game in the campaign. All you've got to do is upgrade your gem building, and you get a very, very tanky unit. No charge bonus at all. They sit there, they absorb the charge. They have encourage, disciplined. So they have disciplined. So if the general dies, they're not going to take a morale penalty. They have headhunt. That makes them unbreakable. So for 30 seconds they cannot be broken. And they've got encourage, so they can encourage each other to give +9 morale. So they're going to give everybody a morale bonus. They've got high morale anyway. They are not breaking. It's going to be very, very hard to break these. So to have an early game, to maybe have them sat on your front line, if a melee charge comes in, they're going to be able to withstand it with the melee defense and armor that they've got. And they've got very high health. The problem is they've got no shield wall, and they're not going to block missiles. So if you're going up against a skirmish, a heavy army, they're going to get torn to pieces, and that's their downside. Tanking against infantry, they're really quite good. Unbreakable and things like that make them a very powerful early game unit. However, the fact that they're just going to get torn to pieces by any skirmisher unit, which they're prevalent in the beginning of the game. You get a lot of slingers out there, a lot of archers. It kind of puts me off taking them against maybe one of these spear units early game that do have a decent missile block. Sort of the Germanic spearmen. Alright, you could maybe use a mainstay of Germanic spearmen as your front line, put a couple of Bejeweled Nobles in to make benefit of the encourage that they have. Sit them slightly behind the front line and use them just to back up your front line. So if a gap forms in your front line, use the Bejeweled Nobles to fill the gap. Could be a good way of doing it. So next we've got the Tefali Cavalry. I'm undecided with these really. They're a tier 3 medium cavalry unit. Very, very high health. Crappy charge bonus. Not very good on melee attack or melee damage. Melee defense average. Armor pretty poor. But they have the choices of different missiles. So rapid advance, wedge. What's wedge do? Extra charge speed and charge bonus. They have no charge. I don't think it's a unit I'd use. Not for the cost of them. Look at the cost. It's not. No. I'm undecided on these really. They're very high health. So compared to some of the other cavalry, let's have a look. Charge bonus. No. Again, I don't think I would use them over Germanic Mounted Warband, or even the Noble Germanic Horsemen. It's not for the cost. Compared to the Noble Germanic Horsemen, look, for the same cost, I'd take the Noble Germanic Horsemen every day. The benefit is, yeah, you've got 2 shots, and you can use flaming shot, whistling, flame. You know, you could maybe use flame, throw a whistling in there as well, charge in and break a unit. You know, that's maybe something that you could do if you micromanage them carefully. The high health doesn't means that they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay around for a bit. So you could potentially use them to take down an enemy cavalry unit, but the cost makes them unviable, really. So the next unit and the last unit is the skirmisher cavalry that you get, the Chondamar's Raiders. These guys cause fear, which is the thing that does sort of make them appealing to me. Is to have a cavalry unit that causes fear. So you can have a very fast unit moving around the field. They have rapid advance, precision shot. They only use standard shot, so they've got a nice bonus versus cavalry. The problem is they're very, very expensive. The health's very high, morale's high, speed high, nice armor, reasonable defense. You know, so as a skirmish unit, maybe 1 or 2 on the flanks if you can afford to get them. Yeah, great, go for it. Personally, they're too expensive. It's one of those. It's a very specialised unit. You know, you could make very, very good work of this unit mid to late game. You know, if you're going to get a cavalry charge against you, and you can sort of use them to assist, so you can engage a cavalry unit and then use them to assist to break that cavalry unit with the fear that they've got, and just chuck in some missiles in with the precision shot. Great. As a chase down unit as well, you know, as many of you play, you know, you get the red and white flash. It means that they've broken, but they've routed, but they've not gone completely. You know, the rapid advance could make sure that unit goes. So you know, this unit's then continually using the fear, so that unit's broke. They're still at a morale debuff. You're going to keep that morale debuff even lower by using the fear. Rapid advance, get rid of them, and they're out the game. You know, so it could be a very, very effective way of removing units from the game. You know, maybe 1 or 2 units working together on the flanks, roaming around. You could probably do quite a bit of damage and clear out some units. Whether I'd buy them or not, I'll probably buy a couple of units and give them a go in the campaign just to see what they're like. But it's not something that I'd rely on. I'd be interested to see what this kind of missile damage does. I mean, if they've got bonus against cavalry as well. Let's have a look. No bonus against cavalry that's showing there. Good at spotting, range, 80, hiding. Yeah. Have they got snipe? Radar? No. So they're immune to fearing. They can fear everybody. So yeah, they're the unique units that the Alamans get. Bit underwhelming compared to the other 2, really. You know, the Langerbeards has some very, very good units with the clubmen, the scaled clubmen. A couple of their cavalry units was pretty good. The Burgundians have the dogs and scattershot hurlers, which, wow, you know, they've got some really good units, and the Burgundians. So the Alamans on the DLC, if somebody was saying to me, let's have a multiplayer game, you can only use one of the new DLC, the Alamans wouldn't be my first choice. You know, I'd be sort of and ahhing between the Langerbeards and the Burgundians, probably going for the Burgundians with their units. So I'm a bit disappointed with the units that these guys have got, but we'll give it a go. We'll get stuck into the campaign. Okay, so where are they? Alamans. So let's have a look at them. They start in Osbursis, which is good. They start with a nice trade resource, gems. They've got some pretty fertile lands very close to them. They're right on the border of Gaul, so straight away we're looking at the border of Rome. We've got the Alans, or is it the Vandals, roaming around here as well. Franks, Saxons, Anglers, the Rugians, Burgundians, all the Viking factions. Whether we head north, I can't see me heading north. It could be some nice, easy, quick takes going north and taking the land off the Vikings and just consolidating north of Germany and heading east. Chances are I'm going to be attacking the Romans a lot, though. So to have the Protectores, a Roman unit to be able to attack the Romans with, I can maybe see that the way that some of these units have been designed are to help you take on the Romans early game. Anyway, so we've got the normal Barbarian Kingdoms trait, which is the building conversion rate of -50%. Quite powerful. If we're going to be taking a lot of land off the Romans, that means that we're going to need to convert their keeps. Once we get our religion quite prominent, it's going to make it a lot cheaper to convert those. And we have Germanic unity. So, plus 15 melee attack versus Romans, all forces. If we looked at some of our melee attack, we had some quite high melee attacks and some really low melee attack. So to be going against Roman units, which would, in a sense, feed into some of the tankier units that we have with the high armour and the high defence, to put even more armour on there, could really help us against the Romans. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see how that goes. And then we've got Royal Splendour, plus 50% to the general's radius of influence. It's looking as though the way the Alamans are going to be at the moment, they're going to be very, very high morale troops. You're not going to be able to break the army easily. The general's going to be able to keep the morale up. A couple of bejeweled, what were they called? Bejeweled, whatever they were called, in there as well to inspire the units and boost the morale. An unbreakable centre line, Yeah, I'm quite interested to see how this campaign goes. So, enough of me waffling on. What we'll do, we'll get stuck straight in. I'm not going to let the cutscene play out, guys. The cutscene is pretty much exactly the same as the Vikings one and every Barbarian Kingdoms one. So, we've all seen it. But what I will do is I will allow the pre-turn dialogue to play out.
Your name, literally all men, reflects the unusual unity between the tribes that make up your people. With the Romans lurking across the Rhine, you were forced to look to each other for strength, and your repeated forays into enemy territory have demonstrated the efficacy of this approach. Though an uneasy peace is now in effect, the vulnerability of the city of Argenteratum, the site of your most humbling defeat, haunts your people. Before you take it, however, you must consolidate your position. The malicious Vandals lurk to the east, waiting for you to overextend yourselves. Protect against them by calling together your Germanic cousins. The Marcomanni, Langobards, and Franks will flock to your banners when they hear your mighty war cry.
Right then. So here we go. Whoops. What was that I've just done? Oh, God. Too many keybinds. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're going to have a look at a few little things here. And I do want to be at the map. So the first thing we know and we were told is we our faction got a bit of a kick in this territory here, and it's embarrassing for us. I don't like being embarrassed, and I think the Romans need to be taught a lesson, don't you? So I think what we'll do is we'll go and we'll take this, but we won't take it yet. We'll just keep sacking it. So that's going to be one of our first targets. But before we do this, before we take on Rome, we have to, as the game said, consolidate our position. That basically means that while we are on the borders of Rome, and we are going to have problems, we need to secure ourselves. And we have two Vandal armies here and here that are going to be the biggest problem straight away. So we need to deal with those and deal with them quickly so that we can then progress through the campaign. So the plan straight away is to build up an army here. I'll use mercenaries to do it, and I'll take on the Vandals. Now the Vandals being a migrating faction, are going to have a lot of cavalry. So I'm going to have to build an army designed specifically to deal with the cavalry problem. Once we've dealt with the Vandals, I will then be pushing into Thuringia and capturing this province. This will allow me to get a bit more food and maybe some public order buildings to make sure that I'm earning good money. Now when I'm building, I will have a priority on what I take. Firstly, public order. Secondly, food. Then I'll go for wealth, and then I'll look after sanitation. It's a pain in the arse if somewhere gets like a pestilence or something like that. It takes a while for it to disappear. If you have an army there, your army gets it. You take lots of attrition due to the disease. It is a pain in the arse, but the chances 2%. It happens. It happens. You know, so don't worry too much about sanitation. Public order is a must. Food is a must. Then your wealth to support your armies. Then worry about your sanitation. Now, having said that, so we're going to take Thuringia, and that'll give us a nice power base to move into Rome. But to do so as well, what we're going to have to do is play diplomacy very, very carefully. Now, with the diplomacy, I need allies all around here, or at the very least, non-aggression pacts. You know, maybe with the Vikings, I don't know yet. I don't know what kind of threat they're going to be to me at the moment. But we definitely need, at least, from Alamans, whoever's here, and these factions. We've got the Varinians, the Rugians, the Burgundians. Not sure who it is that's here. I can't remember. It's probably the Burgundians as well, actually. And I'm not sure who's here. But we'll need those non-aggression pacts. Now, I haven't discovered them yet, but I will once I take this region. Arigelia, the Langobards region. Now, everybody, you know, you'll be thinking, why aren't you going there? Let me show you. We'll go to diplomacy. I've got a trade agreement. If I was to declare war on them, I would take a diplomatic penalty. My trustworthiness would be changed from steadfast to untrustworthy. Once you become untrustworthy, nobody will touch you. Nobody will go anywhere near you with diplomacy. And it's 5 turns or so. Which means that when I push this way, any of these tribes could then start disliking me, hating me, and I'd never get the non-aggression pacts that I need. So, by having these treaties and treating people good, I keep this steadfast. I take this, I then manage to get non-aggression here. Once I've got all the diplomatic treaties that I need and I want to secure this side of my territory, then we take the Langobards. And we'll probably take the Saxons as well. So, in a way, I am going to backstab. I am going to be a little bit of a bastard. But I'm going to do it when I'm in a position of strength. At the moment, I'm not in that position of strength. So, I'm going to wait until then. Now, what we need to do as well is to strengthen our diplomatic status. And one of the best ways is to be at war with the same faction.
Welcome, worthy friend.
So if we get these to join war...
Let us break bread and...
No, they won't do it. Okay. Defensive alliance. No. Right, so they're not going to join war.
Good and
These
noble
might.
friend. What an honor you do us. Come.
So they want a non-aggression
As
pact.
clouds gather,
I'm going to ask for
wise
money
men
for this,
look
though.
for friends to shelter them. In you, I believe...
Okay, I'll take 200. They're not going to join war. Okay, so the Markomans. First thing we
Sit,
need.
friend, and let us talk.
There's a wife.
And let us have good wine.
Okay. Now I want trade. And I want some money for it. Now I want a non-aggression. And I want some money for it. See if I can get 200.
You are honorable, worthy, and strong. And
Yeah, we'll take that. Let's see if they'll join war.
welcome, worthy friend.
They probably won't because the
Let us
Vandals are
break
right in their
bread and
territory.
drink ale before word.
Alright, so...
My friend, be welcome. The spirits of this...
So nobody
I look
wants to join
forward
war
to your wisdom,
against the Vandals.
but I trust you will not.
Okay. not a problem. Maybe next turn. So let's have a look at our generals and things like that. Now, one thing I'm looking for is the general's ability that is called Brace. Because I'm going up against cavalry, to have that brace would mean I can... and there it is. Fantastic. +2 cunning. Wow, he must have had a... What reduced his cunning? Did he have low cunning? Wow. He must have done. Okay, so let's see. Second wind. No. What's this guy got? Reconnaissance. Wealth from commercial buildings. Yep, so he's going to be a governor. Right, so we'll plonk these guys in companions straight away. As you can see. Okay. And we'll have a look at our army now. We'll move up to there. I'm going to hire my mercenaries. So I want the pike, and I want a fear-inducing unit. And using, as we discussed before, I've got the bejeweled nobles. I want these. I want the archers, so I don't want them. I want them. I'll take another 2 of those.
Move out! On the move, lads!
So that's... It's not the best army in the world, but yeah, it's pretty good. I'll use these guys because I think they have a bonus against cavalry. Just double checking. Nope. Now 4 shots. We've got snipe. Low ammunition. No, they don't have bonus against cavalry. Never mind. Let's have a look at these guys. Just a quick attack against infantry. Doesn't show it. Right, so they're good against cavalry. How are the pikes actually against cavalry? Let's just see. Doesn't say. Alright, so now we've done that, I'm going to go and do some recruiting. So in here, I want cavalry.
There is no finer ending.
Let's have a look at our building. We've got pastures, fantastic. There's not much more I can do building wise. I will want to upgrade this so I can get some more bejeweled nobles, but before I upgrade this I want to take Lookfordham. So quick look at the technology. I'm going to go straight here. Recruitment cost -2. I'm going to probably pick this one, and this probably. What does that give us? Minus recruitment cost. So I'm going to take all of these and then I'll move into the civic tree. And I'll probably be in the civic tree for quite some time. Now, the reason I'm going for this first is because, not only because I get a woodcarver and get access to bowmen and onager, but because of that upgrade of the Germanic warband, which replaced the Germanic band. So just to explain, there's the Germanic band. They're a reasonable unit for the cost of them, you know, whatever, you know, they're fine. But health 78, morale low, armor 18. They're pretty crap. Armour 47, health 95. So straight away, the Germanic warband, more health, more armour. More melee attack, more melee damage, higher charge bonus. Plus, they have this wonderful ability here. Plus 10 melee attack. So that puts them on a melee attack of 55. They're immune to fear. And they also cause fear. So they reduce the morale of enemy units. This is why in 5 turns I'd be able to upgrade my men and get those units. That's what I want. You know, I want to be able to do that. So why not go straight for that upgrade and get my... I've got the spear units, as I said in the beginning. These spear units, they're not great, they're not fantastic. There are better available, but they will do. And They're cheap. Look at the cost of them, 90 per turn. They cost, what do they cost to recruit? 180 compared to these. These are double the cost, essentially, per turn. You know, they're a bit better, yes, but yeah, they're not that much better than these. So I'll keep these. I don't want to upgrade them just yet. Now, I forgot where I was going there. But these guys, okay, I've got a unit that can hold my front line, but I need a unit that can flank. I need a unit that can rear charge. And these will do the job, but the Germanic Warband will do it even better. And they don't cost that much more money, so 5 turns, let's go for it, let's get them. Anyway, continue with the campaign. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assign my governor now, which was going to be my son. This guy, I think, was it? Oh, I can't remember. Let's have a look. What am I looking for? Yeah, 10 wealth from commercial buildings. So in he goes. I've got companions set up, you know, all the ones that can be companions are. Ideally, I don't. If you look at the companions, recruitment cost minus 5%, wealth 4% from agriculture, all regions. Really, this one's good for generals. You don't really want governors in here, but you have to put them through the first tier office before they can go to the next tier office. And you see, this is where you'd want your governors, minus 5% construction cost. So you'd want some governors in there, the elder, public order, and tax rate. So that's where you'd want governors. Tribal chiefs, replenishment rate, and recruitment cost. That's where you'd want a general. Yeah, integrity and a unit experience for all recruits. That's where you'd want a general. Up here, minus 6 upkeep, integrity. That's where you'd. So these 3 are generals. Yeah. These 5 are for your governors, and these 4 are for other generals. So always try and make sure that you've got generals in the right place and governors in the right place in your offices when you assign them. Doesn't always work like that because it depends on the influence, and governors tend not to get high influence unless you put them somewhere that's going to be attacked. So, yeah, we've done our recruitment, we've set our governor, we've done our family, we've done the diplomacy, we've done our technology, and we've done our recruiting. So, as I said, I'm going to be super aggressive. If I auto-resolve, I'd win, but we'll fight this one out. Right, so, these are a concern, the Alani Cavalry. Axe Warriors not so much so. Okay, I'm going to deploy in the dry because I want good vision and things. And let me see. Group 1. Plus those, Group 2. Group 3. And 4. Right. The cavalry on the flank. I want these skirmishers on this flank. And I actually want a couple of units of those in front. And I'm going to put the brigands with them. Now I want the pike at the front line. Get these out of the way. And I want 2 units of these on either side of the pike.
Spearman! Spearman! Pikemen! Spearman ready for battle!
God, let's take some faff in. Okay. Oh. There. Now I actually want them as a controlled group. Okay, that keeps them locked into that formation. Now these guys into spear wall. So this is going to hold my infantry. So that's going to be my infantry line with these guys behind in flaming shot. I'm going to use these with the cavalry. I'm going to use these on this side. I'm going to put my general here. In fact, he's got brace. I'll do that the other way around. General here. And these guys just here And what they'll do is they'll fill any gaps in the front line. And my general here to give brace to one of these guys. Cavalry with the axe warband.
The enemy has been sighted!
Now what I need to try and do here is draw this cavalry out. It's not going to be as easy as it sounds. Really what I probably could have done with there was a unit of Onager in the army that would have drawn them to me. They'd have charged me.
Mounted warband! The gods watch over us!
Just take them out of spear wall a second.
Brigands!
Warband! Run! Casio! Neatus!
Okay, let's see if I can draw a charge from them from someone. Who to use? If I can draw a left flank charge using these units.
Mounted missile warriors! Spearman! Get ready! Mounted brigands! Forward! Run, curse you! Spearmen! Pikemen! We will pierce their hearts! Run! We'll kill them all!
Now I don't want to leave too big a gap there for the...
Run, curse you! Forward! They will bleed for us! Warriors, move out!
Okay. I'll just slowly move up.
Missile armed warriors! Gods, protect us! Get moving! Bombard champions! What commando? Forward! Run! Casio! Run, Casio! Spearman! Alright! Run on!
Okay. So now we're starting to take fire. As you can see, we've drawn them
Ready
out.
for battle!
Here we go.
Mounted brigands! Spearman! Moves! No!
Into the dogs.
Warband! Mounted death! Mounted warband! No! Kill!
Our general is under attack!
Spearman! As you say! Easy up!
Okay. Let's have a quick look over here.
Spearman! Run! Run, Casio! We will pierce their hearts! Melee fighters ready! Spearman! Missiles ready!
Enemy units have been rallied!
Mounted warband! Warband!
The men are broken and running for their lives!
One blood! We will pierce their hearts! Back warriors! Fire!
Well, it's probably a bad idea to put my general up there.
Our men have rallied.
Look at the state of that cavalry, just tearing me to pieces. Let's get the archers out.
An entire unit has perished.
Okay, an entire unit has perished. Headhunt. Courage. Come on. Get my general in there. I'll probably die. Get the brigands in.
The men are running. Stand and fight.
Get that cavalry to do what it needs.
The whole unit has been destroyed.
Okay.
Follow me.
That will go here. Shit.
Missiles ready.
Come on, let's get these archers dealt with.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle. Our men have regrouped. The battle is turning in our favor.
Okay. Just the archer units to deal with now.
We will pierce their hearts. Battle ready. Scrappers ready.
Get a charge in. Charge the back there.
The men are running, cowards! Fire! And running! The day is yours.
Okay, we're going to do some chase downs now.
They will bleed for us. Bombard champions.
Not the best attack. Slowly finding out these units are pretty shit. My cavalry didn't do very well, but there was Alani cavalry. They have super high charges and things like that. Let's just finish. In fact, I'll finish off those. In fact, we'll get into those bows there. So it's just a chase down. I'm just going to fast forward it while I do this. Well, and kill as many of them as you can. Right, I think we're done. Just chase down these units. Fast forward it. And that should be it done. We'll see where we're at and then do some recruiting to recover. We'll probably maybe need to hire some mercenaries. Perfect victory. I could have done better.
Getting on our way.
So he survived. What did he survive with? Just one unit of cavalry.
For the tribe.
Okay. I lost archers, which is pretty
On the move,
bad.
lads. Finding shelter.
So I'll take them, another unit of cav. No, I'll take Germanic brigands. Merging the units together now just to strengthen the army slightly. Okay, let's see what else we can recruit. The pikes I wasn't overly impressed with, but we will we'll see what we can do here. So I'm going to come back just so that I'm in my own territory. I've got a bit of regen going on. Cavalry, am I recruiting? Plenty of cavalry, but maybe not recruit that many. Let's get some spears in there. Right. Now we've got a governor, I can assign a thingy, so I'm going to go for recruitment capacity and the Germanic influence because I'm only at 60%, so to get that up, you know, look at the negative effect. -2 for religious differences. If I can get that out of the way pretty quick, then great. Can't do anything about the difficulty level. Taxes were on medium taxes, so yep. And the political situation, I'd need to drop. Yeah, I might drop down, so I'm not taking any negatives. So you do that by losing control and losing some dominion there. Right, and with that, guys, I think we've got another Alanic army, Vandal army here, which we will go straight for. You know, once I've recovered a little bit, I'm paying out a lot for mercenaries at the moment, but I'm expecting the Vandals to come at me this turn. So we'll see if the Vandals come and attack me. If they do, we'll deal with it. Hopefully we'll beat them, and then we'll just sit back in Abersis, recover, build our armies up, and go after the Thrungians. Now we're going to have a lot of this with the Romans running through my lands. It's going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. So the Vandals are set up here. Right. So it's blocked. I'll never use political favours unless I can't decree it, because in 10 turns I'm going to need another 20-25 influence on Theobald to go back into office. So to lose 10 now, no. So I'll decree that. Okay, so everybody's there. Suebians. Back to diplomacy. Let's see if these guys will join me in war against the Vandals.
We will talk and then we will feast.
Okay.
My friend, be welcome. The spirits of this place Sit, friend, and let us talk, and let us have good wine.
So they want. Alright.
Thirsty for battle. Starting out. Get moving.
So now it's just, I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to chase down the Vandals.
Is there nothing else? Stragglers will be left behind. Your next command? Is that all?
There they are. Is that all they've got? Let's have a look. Have they been beaten back?
Are you brave or foolish?
Okay, so there's another Vandal army somewhere. Not sure where.
Ready for
So I'm going to come back home with this army.
thirsty for battle.
And we'll do some more recruitment.
Come, fight for us, lads. Are you ready to do your duty to the tribe?
And how are we doing? I need a wife. Let's see if anybody that we've met has a wife. So
We have
Suebians,
need of talk.
non-aggression
I'm
pact.
sure.
Brilliant. Okay. Let's have a look for a wife.
Welcome, my friend. My friend.
No.
Be. Greetings. Now. Welcome,
Doesn't look like anybody's got a
my
wife for
friend.
us. Just double checking this army.
For battle.
Okay, and we'll then turn there. I think what we'll do as well, guys, and here they come, as you see. So what have we got? Pretty much the same army we were going up against before. I could do with a set diamond a defensive. Even if I run away, they're going to be able to chase me down. So we'll fight that, but we won't fight it in this video, guys. I will come back and I'll fight this in the next video. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Do feel free to hit that like or subscribe button. If you do subscribe, you're kept up to date with any further campaigns that I do, or videos that I do upload. I also do stream from time to time, HempKnight79 on Twitch. At the moment I'm doing a Langobards campaign on there. And I'm looking at doing probably a Vandals campaign pretty soon as well. I'm going to see how I can get on with one of the migrating tribes. I'd be quite interested to learn that side of the game and learn those mechanics. So, you know, by subscribing, you'll be able to watch my videos on that one as well. So, thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye now.